Get ready for the CIAA Roundup.
Get ready.
Brought to you by HBCU Live.
Right back in your ear.
The pulse of black college sports.
Let's roll out the action on the CIAA hardwood. 2015 figures to have plenty of drama and excitement, both on the men's and the women's side. We all know who got the preseason hype. Now it's time to prove it on the court. We're on the road to Charlotte. Let the journey begin. Our first stop this week, Winston-Salem, North Carolina. We'll watch the Rams take on Chowan University. Ram Nation was typical Ram Nation as they hosted Chowan University CIAA Tilt up at the CE Gaines Arena. The house that Big House built. That's Josh Millett with a basket there for the Hawks. And then off the follow, it is Travis Buchanan. Here's Winston-Salem State. That's Javon Wells with a bucket there. Winston-Salem State staying close. Chowan got out to a quick lead in this game. Part of the reason why is Mark Anthony Burright. He came off the bench and he made an impact for Chowan. And that is just simple rejection on the part of Millett. No respect for Winston-Salem State. That's Burright with a steal and a score. He came off the bench to score 22 points, a big spark plug for Chowan. That, my friends, is a three ball from Marquez Jones, keeping Winston-Salem State in the game. This was a tight one in the second half, but Burright seemed to have the right stuff for Chowan, a three ball there. Later, CJ Ford gets in on the fun. That's a steal. You know what's coming up? A slam. Winston-Salem State couldn't close the gap though. Nate Long did his best, but Michael Adams and company would make sure that Chowan would pull out the win in this game. The Hawks pulling off an upset in Big House's house. Final score in this game, Chowan 71, Winston-Salem State 67. Now we go to the women's game where we were trying to see what the Lady Rams would do against Chowan. Chowan on a pretty good little roll in women's play as well. This is Winston-Salem State in transition, however. Shaquira Palmer gets the lay-in right there for Winston-Salem State. But like I said, Chowan, they're off to a decent start. A bunch of good teams in the CIAA as far as the women's side go. That's Naima Harrington with the bucket there. And the coaching staff for Chowan, oh, they're liking that. They're not liking this, though. That's Tiana Edwards with a three ball for Winston-Salem State. Then it's Kashira McNeil. Nice drive to the hoop. Lady Rams fighting back. But the Hawks seem to have their number on this night. Courtney Williams with a nice move to the hoop there for Chowan. Winston-Salem State would not quit though. Nice spot up jumper there from Deanna Scott. McNeil's gonna come up with another basket here for Winston-Salem State, but it would not be enough. Chowan might be a contender among the women in the CIAA. No matter what you see in the highlights, that's bad highlights for Sam. You're showing all the Winston highlights for when Chowan won this game 53-44. Final VSU game to tell you about. This time the Trojans at home to host Shaw U. The Bears looking like they've got a point to prove, but that's Lamar Curse, and he had the first bucket of the game for Virginia State. Now Shaw's got a lot of firepower. That's Larry Richardson with a nice runner there. Later, it's Alfonso Leary getting it done in the paint for Virginia State. Lonnie Blow liked that, but I got warned you earlier. Shaw's got a little bit of firepower, and you're about to see some of it on display. Jamar Cooper breaking ankles, stepping back, drilling it. It's a three-pointer. But at least Virginia State had an answer for that three-pointer, a three-pointer from Lamar Curse. So we're going back and forth, back and forth. Watch the reaction from Cleo Hill Jr. when Akeem Echols nails that three-pointer. Yeah. He didn't say yeah after this play, though. On the steal, Echols can't knock the ball out of Elijah Moore's hands. Moore completes a hoop and a harm. Three-point play. Eccles is like, Coach Hill's going to get me. I got to come up with a play. First, he had to watch Moore nail a baseline jumper. Two teams going back and forth. Well-played game. Later, it's a steal by Moore. He gives it up, gets it back, slams it home. Things look good for VSU. You think so anyway. But hey, Toby Durham put these highlights together. Blame him because Shaw took control in this game, baby. Off the miss, John Savoy, 14 points, 10 boards. Shaw U pulling away at this point. They win this game at VSU 72-61. Now, when's the last time you said Shaw Lady Bears got taken to the woodshed? I know, never. Never in the Jock Curtis era. Well, this time they got taken to the woodshed. Kana Marriott with 17 points for Shaw U. Well, I should say for Virginia State. Here's a Shaw U basket. Tabitha Anderson for 3. That's way too little, way too late in this game because VSU put the foot on the throat and never let up. Tiffany Adair, 11 boards, 18 points, 4 different VSU players in double figures. That's not a misprint. Virginia State won this game big, 84-62. It's the last time Shaw U got me like that. I'll show you one more game up in Richmond, historic Barco Stevens Arena. Livingstone traveling north to take on Virginia Union. Eric Mayo with the follow-up tip-in right here. Mayo was balling in Richmond. The spot-up jumper there. He's off to a quick start. And then it's Eric Dubose with the runner. He's got that shot down pat. Livingstone off to a quick lead. Now, when we saw Ray Anderson at the CIAA SIAC Challenge in Charlotte, he was struggling. He's not struggling now. He's got his range. That's a 3-ball there. Mayo, however, was on fire in this game for the Blue Bears. Anderson, however, was just starting to heat up. A jumper right there. Then later, it's Anderson again. Give him a bucket. He had 21 points in this game. And James Stinson was like, we got to slow down that number 3 in white. How can we do it? I don't know. Couldn't do it on this play. Anderson, nice move to the hoop, off the glass. So I guess the only way you can answer him is to give him a big old dose of Hakeem Jackson. Jackson with a nice bucket there. Anderson, however, wasn't done. Anderson, one more hoop off the glass. But this game belonged to Eric Mayo. 30 points, 10 boards. Big game as Livingstone knocks off Virginia Union. Final score, 83-65. Now for the ladies. And the ladies of Livingstone, well, they're pretty good. Virginia Union would find out. This is Wendy Foster. When all this is done, the ball's bouncing around. Foster's going to get a hoop and a harm. Livingstone's pretty good. Now it's the Sierra York show. Act 1, York with the steal, and then the score. Livingstone starting to pull away from Virginia Union. Then it's York again in transition. Gonna spot up, hit the J, 14 points for Sierra York. Aaliyah Greenwich now gets in on the act. Look at the nice post-up move there by Aaliyah. Then later, she's going to show you that she can play some defense as well. Virginia Union in transition. Uh-oh, that's a turnover. Greenwich going coast to coast with the layup. Now, Jasmine Dancy had a 13-point game for Virginia Union, but it would not be enough. Livingstone will pull away and win this game 77-58. Let's take a moment now to salute the CIAA Weekly honorees. A good week for the Shaw Bears on the men's side of the ledger. Larry Richardson is your player of the week. In 3 games last week, Richardson averaged over 20 points a game. The newcomer of the week is also from Shaw U. He is guard Jamar Cooper. Cooper is among the league leaders in assists as well. The rookie of the week from Chowan University, he's Hank Edmonds. And the coach of the week is Cleo Hill Jr. from Shaw University. Looks like the Bears are going to be contenders again for yet another CIAA championship. Shifting gears now to the CIAA standings, starting with the ladies. Chowan has the early edge in the north as we head into division play. The Lady Hawks just picked up an impressive win in Charlotte against a highly regarded Johnson C. Smith squad. Patrick Machuta's team has won 4 of its last 5 games. That one loss came to Livingstone, who is on top in the CIAA South. Everyone's talking about Anita Howard's team. LC is 15-0 heading into the weekend, and boy, do we have a weekend showdown for you here. Livingstone traveling to Raleigh to take on the defending champion Shaw Lady Bears. If they win that game and go 16-0, they're really going to turn some heads. On the men's side, Virginia State is off to a quick start in the north. It should be quite a race between the Trojans, Bowie State, and Lincoln, PA. But Lonnie Blow has had success in the CI before. And when you have a sharpshooter like Lamar Curse, you figure you're gonna contend for a championship. Down in the South, Shaw has the early edge over defending champion Livingstone. Those two teams go head-to-head this weekend in Raleigh. That will be a statement game for both teams, to say the least. Larry Richardson and Jamar Cooper have become quite the 1-2 punch for the Bears. The CI is getting love in the latest D2 CIAA rankings this week. Bowie State is 4th in the Atlantic region, while Winston-Salem State is 9th. On the ladies' side, Livingstone's 15-0 start has gotten some attention. The Lady Blue Bears are 6th in the Atlantic region this week. Johnson C. Smith is 10th. Steve Joyner Jr.'s squad is off to a very impressive 14-2 start. Now let's take a glance at the scoring leaders in the CI. St. Augustine's Raheem Jollife is among the players filling up the stat sheet, but Lamar Curse of Virginia State is your scoring leader at the moment. He's coming off a 22-point outing on Monday as the Trojans knocked off Johnson C. Smith. Bowie State's Cameron Knox is next. He lit up Fayetteville State earlier this week with 19 points, including 3 3-pointers. Livingstone's Eric Dubose is a bad man, and he's been lighting it up for the Blue Bears. He had 16 points in LC's recent win over Elizabeth City State. Larry Richardson is 5th in scoring. He just scorched Virginia State as the Bears knocked off the Trojans on their home court. And as we mentioned earlier, he is also the CI's Player of the Week. Looking at the women's leaders, Jada Jenkins of Elizabeth City State and Ashley Freeman of Virginia Union are among the top scorers. Verdine Warner of Shaw is the scoring leader. She has been on a tear for the Lady Bears all season long. Bowie State's Danita Baker is averaging nearly 16 points in league play. She's a big reason why the Lady Bulldogs figure to contend this season. Virginia State's Tiffany Adair is averaging a double-double for the Lady Trojans. She is one of 2 CIAA players in the top 5 in scoring and rebounding. Verdine Warner of Shaw is your other player. Let's take a look at the CIAA's top window cleaners. Winston-Salem State's where Kevin Bazemore is the top Windex man. Bazemore is averaging nearly 11 rebounds a game so far for the Rams. Shaw's Karan Reed is next. He's averaging nearly 9 boards a game for the Bears. Eric Mayo has had a number of double-double games for Livingstone. This is action from earlier this season against Virginia Union. He's 3rd in the league in rebounds. Tyrese Little has made quite the impact for Virginia State. He's averaging nearly a double-double a game. Elizabeth City State's Darrell Ward has also posted several double-double games this year. He's 5th in the league in rebounds. Now for the ladies' top rebounders, as we mentioned a moment ago, Shaw's Verdine Warner and Virginia State's Tiffany Adair are averaging double-doubles on the year. They're joined in the top 5 in rebounding by Fayetteville State's Deja Middleton, Bowie State's Danya Naylor, and LaKendra Wilkerson of Johnson C. Smith. Fayetteville State's Joshua Dawson is the leading assist man in the CIAA. He's averaging nearly 7 dimes a game for the Broncos. Next up, Johnson C. Smith's Robert Davis III. He's dishing out 5 assists a game for the Golden Bulls. We highlighted Jamar Cooper as the CIAA Newcomer of the Week. He's also among the leaders in assists. Fayetteville State actually has 2 of the top 4 assist leaders in the conference. Jawan Addison getting things done as well for FSU. As Elizabeth City State's Elon Edwards rounds out the top 5, he's producing 4 dimes a game, and as you can see here in this game against Claflin, he can put the ball in the hoop as well. Virginia State has 2 of the top 5 assist leaders among the women. Deshae Jones can also score. Man, can she score. She went off against Livingstone. A bunch of three-pointers and a 26-point effort against the Lady Bears. Nate Harrington has also got the job done for Chowan as a playmaker and a scorer. That's your CIAA recap this week, but stay with HBCU Live because we will be with the CIAA along the road to Charlotte.